Hello and welcome to PCOM Friends for Life, episode 3, week 9. OMM is done and it's not legit. I'm your host, Harry Asatar, and we're here with a very special guest. Also, today's episode is sponsored by Delilah's Gentleman's Club and Steaks. It's delicious. I've been there. It's all delicious at Delilah's. Thank you for the sponsorship. And we are also sponsored by the Philadelphia Eagles and Coors Light. So go Birds, 7-1, sit at the top of the NFL. We actually have someone with some insider bird knowledge. Welcome to our guest, Mr.
Amir, sir. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Ahmed Amir.
And Mr. Amir, why don't you tell us about your story a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm a first-year resident for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a dentist.
You're a dentist.
I went to Temple Dental.
You are a med.
Yes, I am a med. Oh, I like it. I like the joke. Yeah, it's a good one. And so I'm a dentist. I'm a dentist for the Philadelphia Eagles. Specifically, I've had a new client join my books. I actually met with him the other day. Jay Ajayi recently traded from the Miami Dolphins.
Jay Ajayi.
Great guy. Although I'm repping a Carson Wentz jersey, because of my new client, I met him once, but I think he's my new favorite patient. I might have to get a new Jay Ajayi jersey.
Does he have? He was born in London. Does he have an accent, like an English accent?
Yeah, it's actually a slight English accent. I can't divulge too much patient confidentiality. Right. But I will say this for Eagles fans, you might be getting some grills.
Wait, I like that. Wait, isn't that a breach of patient confidentiality that you told me that Jay Ajayi was your patient? I guess it was.
That 100% is.
Yeah. Wow. So some conflict on the PCOM Friends for Life.
I will refer further questions to my lawyer.
Wow, Mr. Amir, you are a. I can't find the word.
Let's talk about these fantasy football.
All right, so we are going with our rankings, right, Mr. Amir? Right?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Amir
Yes, sir.
and I talked about our rankings very recently.
Yeah.
So let's start off at the bottom. You've been here.
Yes, sir. Mr. Game Time at number 10. He finally got his first win of the season, which was
I'm proud
great.
of you, man. I'm proud of you.
Good job. You deserved it. You actually played a hell of a game.
You did.
You started the right
You
players.
put up like 140 or something.
Yeah.
It was a really impressive win.
Good call. Jordan Reed won you the game.
Won you the
In
game.
the flex. So,
Huge.
good job.
Good job.
Tough last week, though.
Honestly, I want to commend this GM's, consistent.
He doesn't give
striving.
up.
Yeah,
He doesn't give up.
Consistent striving for improvement. He's always working the waiver wires. He's
Mm-hmm.
always willing to listen to a trade to help his team out.
He did recently make a trade, too.
He did.
He said, trust the process. No, it was true trust the process. And he sent Jay Ajayi for Stephon Diggs and Duke Johnson.
Wow. So Jay, he got rid of Jay Ajayi.
He did get rid of Jay Ajayi.
At the time, good move, I guess.
Yes.
But now it might come back to bite him in the butt a little bit.
It might, but so
it's kind of.
So it's fantasy though.
Yeah.
No one would have predicted that trade.
But good job, GM.
Yeah, I like it though.
I like the grit. You're not going to make playoffs, but it might not be you with the shit written on you if you can win this consolation bracket.
Absolutely. So good job, man. Keep up the good work. And I'm sure you'll definitely make some noise in the consolation bracket.
All right, so we got at number 9.
For whom the bells toll.
Tough drop for this team.
Yeah, big drop actually.
Tough drop.
In the past few weeks, he's lost some close games.
Yeah.
I think he lost by 5 to Thought Stopper. He had a big loss to Game Time, which we just talked about.
He had a loss to Ginger Crotch too this past week.
Oh, really? Was it significant?
Yeah, it was a huge game. It was Ginger Crotch went off, and he won 143.5. He scored 143.5.
Damn.
High total. Second only to Trust the Process, 145. And both these teams went off. Like, For Whom the Bell's Toll scored 117.2. That beats the other half of the teams in our league.
Definitely.
Tough loss there. Tough loss to Game Time.
He's had.
His team has a lot of talent.
He does, but it's fantasy football, and it's tough. He made the right move, started the right people, but
You know what I don't like about this GM though?
Let's hear it.
His inflexibility to improve his team. He'll ignore some serious weaknesses on his team because he wants to get 110% value for his guys.
That's 100% true.
Instead of just getting his team better. There were plenty of trades I know he had to at least Ginger Crotch that he was just asking for way too much.
Yeah.
He had gone past the point of it being fair, and I think he had the same type of issues with a few other teams because he was just hard lining these trades. So I think that's a weakness as a GM, the inability to be flexible and acquire depth for your team. So maybe that's something to consider. For Whom the Bell's Toll, you have a lot of talent on your team. You're not making playoffs, but you have the talent to avoid losing to Constellation.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's move on to our next. At number 8.
Dangerous Maneuver. First of all, excellent name change. I definitely like the name change. Based off an OMM practical exam. But this GM, got a good win the other week.
Yeah, he made a trade.
Yep.
He made a trade exactly
like the Bell's Toll. You hear that?
Yeah, he made a trade exactly what I was talking about. He's traded the number 1 fantasy running back in the league to Ginger Crotch because he needed depth and he needed to make a run for the playoffs. Right. That was a good move. He did lose Kareem Hunt, but he got 3 starters in the process.
Absolutely. And he also made a trade with Trust the Process. Sent Will Fuller, number 2 receiver, for Keenan Allen, number 1 receiver, and Cooper Kupp. He's number 2 over there in the Rams, but he's getting the most receptions out of everybody there.
He's been making aggressive moves to better his team. The Des Bryant and Dak trade looks brilliant now.
Yes, absolutely.
This GM didn't draft well.
Yeah.
Drafted very poorly.
Absolutely.
But he has made a ton of great moves.
Definitely shows some quality experience.
Shows experience.
If he can squeeze into the into the playoffs, I think he can make some noise. I think he
could too. That being said, he doesn't have a lot of blue chip top tier talent on his team, so he's pretty matchup dependent. Which can come to bite him in the ass if he does make the playoffs.
Correct.
I think he's a pretty safe bet to not lose the Constellation, but I don't know.
Oh, he's definitely not going to lose the Constellation.
But I don't know if he makes the playoffs. No. All right. So at number 7, we got Thought Stoppers. Tough placement for this team.
So I've been saying this thing. Actually, I haven't been saying this. I've noticed in your show weeks past, people have been saying this. Thought Stopper has had a hell of a team. Putting up excellent numbers.
Yeah.
His running back situation was just straight GQ.
Yeah.
However, I've noticed that other guests here have said that his big weakness, when is Ezekiel Elliott going to get suspended? As soon as Ezekiel Elliott gets suspended, he's losing 20-plus points.
Preach.
So it finally happened. Zeke's suspended for 6 games, and obviously, this is going to carry into the playoffs. And, I feel like Thought Stopper was definitely the team that even Trust the Process up there at 7-1 fear.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody.
That combo of Gurley and Zeke is.
I don't think anybody would have wanted to play.
No one wanted. I would not want to face those two backs. They can each score fucking 40 points a game.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
But so was fantasy, and he
did
gambled on Ezekiel Elliott,
and he made some good moves on Lamar Miller's a good RB2, and Larry Fitzgerald has been killing it. But the loss of Carson Palmer for the year, I'm curious to see how it affects Fitzgerald. I think he could be fine because he's a short intermediate route guy, so he gets a lot of receptions, not a lot of touchdowns and yards. But I'm curious to see his connection with Skelton. Or is it Stanton?
Drew Stanton. I forgot about that guy.
It's connection with Stanton before I want to see if Fitz can keep this up. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the reason my sweatshirt looks weird is because it's reversed because I don't want to be removed from whatever institution.
Good move. I feel like I'm going to be removed from my institution pretty soon. But, so is life. I'm going to take a 1-minute break.
Yeah, so I'd like to talk about the Birds in this period of time. The Birds, Mr. Amir's employer, they're sitting at number 1 in the NFL right now. It's a great time for Birds fans everywhere. Our team is awesome. Carson Wentz, MVP. That's dope. He's in his second year. He's only 24. He's putting up an MVP season already. He's the front runner right now. That's awesome. This team is complete. They just made a huge move for Ajayi. Our defense is disgusting. Our secondary is playing out of its mind right now. We all know about our front seven. It's the grossest front seven in the league, arguably. We are built for a playoff run. Our defense can neutralize bad weather. We can just grind it out. We just added another asset to our power running game. Carson just keeps looking better and better. Alshon's picking up steam. Aguilar's getting hot. Ertz is just a beast. Oh my God, this team. Blunt's a monster. He's going to have fire under him now, trying to keep his starting role over Ajayi. I can't wait to see some Birds football, baby. Even if we lose a couple games in this next stretch of time, I still think this team is going to be poised for a playoff run.
Preach!
Poised.
Preach. That was beautiful.
You like that, right?
That was beautiful.
That's I feel like that's worthy of being on
Wow.
a commentary thing.
Wow. Definitely with Pat Manning or something like that.
That was good, right?
Wow, that was good.
Shit. I might watch this later and touch myself.
Wow, I'm kind of emotional. Wow.
Whew. Alright, with that, I'm going to take a 1-minute break.
Alright, so I think we finished talking about Thought Stopper. Let's move on to number 6. Now this team has moved up in the power rank. It's cooking up some beast mode. Before he was definitely lower in the total poll, but definitely had a big win last week, and I definitely like what this GM has done as well. His GM has also continued to believe in this team. Based off his name, cooking up some beast mode. Obviously losing Marshawn Lynch, and Marshawn Lynch not even really playing that well. Still has showed up and has made good GM moves. Again, excellent trade, fleecing public VIP shoppers at the time with the DeAndre Hopkins trade. The Houston Texans are straight balling right now. Balling. They just played exceptionally well against the Seahawks. No one can stop Deshaun Watson at the moment, and he has so many weapons at his plethora. DeAndre Hopkins, especially being the number 1 over there, I love it. He's going to continue to produce, and I do like the rest of his team, and I do think that that the dedication and hard work that cooking up some beast mode the GM has put into believing in his team, into setting the right players, and so on and so forth, has done a good job, and it's definitely moved him up in the power rankings. And right now there are 3 teams that are 3 and 5, and that's why I feel like for the playoffs, that's going to be my team.
Anything is possible!
Anything is possible, but I'm willing to
In a
put
KG voice, man.
my
Anything is
bet
possible right
on
now.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Garnett, man.
My fault, Kevin Garnett.
What the fuck?
The great center of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
No, it's the Celtics when he said that.
But he started at the Timberwolves.
No, I know, but he said anything
is possible.
Anything is possible. Like in that emotional clip, that's when after they won the championship when he went to the Celtics.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, that's his anything is possible moment.
I like it. So I finished up talking about cooking up some beast mode.
I just want to say something about this team. This is my weird lab friend, or not my weird, Josh's weird lab friend, Jonathan Stewart. I think this team actually kind of is not very good. I think I'm actually a little bit lower on this team. I think that For Whom the Bell Tolls is better. I like the Dangerous Maneuver more than I like this team. But this team's putting up points when it matters. 3-5. I think he can sneak into the playoffs, but I think that he's more at 8 and 6. But he's still got talent on his team. And Mr. Stewart, I hear that you're a very nice guy.
All right, moving on. Number 5, numero 5, OMM is somewhat legit. You know, tough loss last week.
Tough loss, man. Tough loss.
It was a tough loss.
I really enjoyed watching that loss. I really enjoyed that. That was nice. I like seeing Sidon get knocked down a little bit. Like
you know what I also
he was getting pretty cocky, dude. He was getting pretty cocky. I enjoyed seeing him lose, though.
I also enjoyed seeing the tweets that GM from Trust the Process tweets about every time Mark Sidon sends a trade to him. The most obscene trades.
Oh, you tweet? Or
Yeah.
Sam tweets?
Sam tweets.
Can you read some of these tweets?
As in, like, recently.
Can you read? Yeah, can you read some of these?
Yeah. I guess I'll have to look it up.
I didn't know that the GM of Trust the Process tweeted. I thought he was straight.
Let's see what
I thought he was a straight man.
I was just having some technical difficulties trying to find the tweets of Trust the
Is that
Process.
the name for it? Tweets? There's a Twits. There's a Twitter. Is it Twits?
So the last, I think Twites. Twites. It seems like most of the Trust the Process's tweets are...
He twites a lot. He really twits a lot over here. I thought he was straight.
The last tweet that Trust the Process tweeted about was Brian Scalabrine
Oh my god.
is joining the Ice Cube's Big 3 League.
Oh my god.
Brian Scalabrine, the GOAT. Scalabrine. So I think it's enough for looking up on Twites. What team we're talking about? OMM, someone legit. Yeah. So this team's okay. I think
he's a relentless GM. I'll give him that. He's relentless. He's always looking to better his team, but some of his trades are absurd. So he kind of shoots himself in the same foot there.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it could be like the next Hinkie. People thought Sam Hinkie was crazy, and then look at the Sixers right now. So
I agree.
Maybe there's a method to the madness. I don't see it. I think it's mostly madness, but I still love him.
But the team's talented. Brady, is a beast. He can carry you. Jordy took a huge hit with Rodgers going down. He goes from a top 5 receiver to like maybe a top 20 receiver, maybe. But Julio, even though he hasn't really been clicking yet with the offensive coordinator, I think it's Steve Sarkisian. I think they're really going to try to make an effort to get him the ball more. I think he's in line, potentially put up big numbers for sure. But at the same time, he hasn't been clicking. He's producing like a wide receiver 2 and not that tier 1A guy that we know. So you got 2 tier 1A guys. Julio's tier 1AA. Over Jordy, but both those guys are stud wide receiver ones that can carry your team, but they're both not at that level anymore. Doug Martin's fading a little bit. Ingram kind of fluctuates. He's good. Sometimes he sucks. Like Aaron Jones, the team's a good team. He can make noise in the playoffs, but he could also slip from week to week.
Moving on to number 4, Big Juicy Peaches. I like Big Juicy Peaches.
Tough fall here.
Tough fall.
He was our number 1.
He was. Last 2 weeks we had him.
Yeah.
But, I still like his team. I still think that
Fournette, Le'Veon Bell combo is so sick.
It's dirty.
I think that might be better girly Zeke, honestly.
Well, I mean, he also has good running back, but he also has, Alex Smith who's been playing pretty damn well too.
Out of his mind.
He's number one.
Aguilar's been great. He has Antonio Brown. Oh, he has Antonio Brown, not Le'Veon.
You know what's interesting?
He doesn't have Le'Veon.
Nelson Aguilar has had better stats than Alshon Jeffrey this season.
I know.
It's ridiculous. People were ready to cut Nelson Aguilar.
At the same time, Alshon gets shadowed by the elite cornerbacks.
That's true.
He played Josh
He
Norman.
opens up the book for everybody else.
Yeah, he opens up seriously.
No, he really does. He really does.
He's got a tough sled ahead of him. He's got to keep Talib this week in Denver, and then he's got freaking Richard Sherman against Seattle in a few weeks too. He's got a brutal matchup of receivers.
But regardless, I do like this team a lot. He's got obviously a really good quarterback, good running backs, and then he's got Antonio Brown, and he's having good play from his flex players as well. So Big Juicy Peach is tough, 2 losses past 2 weeks, but I still think the future's bright for this
I agree. I think he could go up, but at the same time, I think he could lose this week. So, and then he's down to 5-4. That's 3 games in a row he's lost.
Yeah.
Is it 3 games in a row? Was he 5-1 last time, or?
He was number 1. I can't remember.
I think he might have been 5-1. Yeah, so he might have. Lost 2 straight, so that might be losing 3 straight.
But we will talk about that next week. Moving on, number 3, Ginger Crotch. Did he drop?
No, I don't remember.
I can't remember either. What do you have to say about this?
Let me see. I might have it up here. Ginger. Oh no, he used to be Publix VIP shopper.
Oh yeah, they got some management.
And Carson, the play of Carson's been brilliant.
Yeah. Yes, Ginger Crotch.
Exactly.
Crotch. Yeah. So
but
what do you think about this team?
So he's at number 4 or 3.
3.
Oh, so he actually moved up 1, because Big Juicy Pizza's dropped to 4.
Correct. So yeah, he moved up. I mean, he had a good win last week.
Yeah. He's won a few straight here.
Yeah.
He won a big one against Fahim DeBell's Toll, and he beat one against Big Juicy Peaches. So he's won a couple of big matchups here.
Yeah.
His team, that DeAndre Hopkins trade is the worst freaking trade of all time. But he suffered that loss, which showed that he drafted deep. And he just traded for Kareem Hunt, man.
That's true.
That's the big trade with Votzel, or with Vish. That big trade that happened that traded a lot of depth, which Vish needed, but a star player, which Josh needed.
That's true.
Because Josh has a ton of depth, but not a lot of star power. And now Josh has Kareem Hunt and AJ Green, arguably the top producers at their position. At least the top 3 of them. And he has Joe Mixon, who's been playing awesome. Carson's been playing out of his mind. Alshon's the number 1 to Alshon, and he just keeps picking up talented players, Actually, Josh was talking to me about this. Josh Gordon just got reinstated into the league, and I don't know if you guys remember about Josh Gordon, but he was an absolute cannon. He was unbelievable. He was one of the nastiest receivers I've ever seen, and his career was derailed by a lot of drug use, and he's been out of the league for a few years, but he's still only 26. I watched a video on him on Undisputed. And it was actually pretty touching. He seems like he's changed. He seems like he's ready to put in the work to resurrect his career. And I'm very curious to see how he can perform. He was a freak.
0.8% of people have just increased him, so I don't know if many people really know about him. But, maybe those 0.8% of people...
I mean, he can't even play till after November 27th, so that's like the last few weeks of the playoffs. And who's going to trust to start Josh Gordon in those weeks anyway?
So then why did that GM take him?
So in one of his leagues, he took him because it's a keeper league. So if he played out of his mind those last 2 games, he might have kept him. It might not be that useful in our league, but that's why he did it in other league. Yeah.
Should look into that concept.
But yeah, this team's deep. It can definitely make some noise in the playoffs. It's made some dumb moves in hindsight. It lost 2 star players. OBJ went down, and then the loss of DeAndre Hopkins
happens. But he's showing good GMing, and
he's shown resiliency
right for him in the playoffs.
I think he's a lock for the playoffs, and he's out of the possibility of having to look like a fool in all of them. So
way out of the possibility.
So at number 2.
Ertzi's so good. Ertzi is pretty damn good, man. I think he's Carson Wentz's favorite target, and he gets.
They got that white on white connection.
Yes, the Caucasian v. Caucasian.
They just got that chemistry. You know, they score a touchdown every game.
Yeah.
You know, like it's crazy. Josh and Sam were at this past game, and it was pouring rain, and they still connected easily. It looked like they could do it in their sleep, man. It was weird. That's weird.
True. That's true.
Look at his past 5 games. The last game he scored 1. 2 games ago he scored 1 and had 89 yards. The game before that he had 2 touchdowns. The game before that he had a touchdown and 60 yards. The game before that he had 80 yards. The game before that he had a touchdown and 50 yards. The game before that he had 100 yards. He's got the connection.
Definitely got a connection.
So consistent. He's the number 1 tight end in fantasy over Gronk.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Awesome.
Good stuff.
Good job, Matt.
Good job, Matthew.
But I hate his running backs.
At
least this week.
Yeah.
AP and Alfred Morris.
Woo! That will be rough.
I guess Alfred Morris could be good. You know, he's got Zeke's role, but they also have McFadden. They could easily split carries.
That's true.
You know, we don't know.
Very true. So that'll be 2.
And AP, without Carson Palmer.
He had that one big game, and then.
But that's because they had Carson Palmer. What's gonna happen if without him?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I like the team. I mean, he's been at the top for a while, so
yeah,
I don't think there's too much.
Russell Wilson's playing out of his mind. Melvin Gordon's awesome. Mike Evans is a beast. He's so consistent. You know,
Sammy Watkins waiting for some production.
Kevin Benjamin, he just got traded to Buffalo. He could be a good target for Tyrod. That could be promising. But, you know, I like this team. Let's talk about number 1.
Okay. Moving on. Number 1. Trust the process.
Awesome team, man. LaShawn McCoy is playing out of his mind. Deshaun Watson is a beast. Rookie of the year. Potential offensive player of the year.
Excellent GMing, too, by playing
he lost Rodgers, the best QB in the game, and then got Deshaun Watson, the hottest cute fantasy quarterback in the game. That's fucking awesome GMing.
Good GMing.
And now J.J. is on the Birds. That could be awesome. This team is shooting on all cylinders. Will Fuller is playing out of his mind. He has 9 touchdowns in 5 games. Crazy. This Marlon Mack, great pickup. I think he's awesome. This team also has Gronk on a bye. This team is the most complete team. Head to toe, most complete team in the league. His receiving core is his weakest aspect, but with Will Fuller playing out of his mind, and now Devin Funchess is going to be the number 1 receiving option in Carolina. And Cam is still a beast. So this team is complete. LaShawn's playing out of his mind.
Took him long enough.
All right, trust the process. Good shit. All right, let's talk about matchups.
Cool. All righty. We'll start with trust the process versus dangerous maneuver. I have trust the process. What do you have?
Let me preview this real quick. I have. I think this will be trust the process. I think trust the process has great matchups. I think Deshaun against Indianapolis, he can easily drop 40 points. LaShawn against the Jets can be awesome. J.J. against Denver, we'll see. Devin Funchess in Atlanta could be a shootout. Marlon Mack at Houston could be a shootout. You know, this team has a lot of upside. Whereas dangerous maneuver, Carlos Hyde in Arizona, he could be good. C.J. Anderson in Philly's going to suck. Robert Woods, I guess. Darkwa, I guess. Jermaine Kearse, I guess. You have a lot of I guess guys. So I just think trust the process has a higher floor and a lower, or a higher ceiling and a higher floor than dangerous maneuver. So I just think he wins this game by 10.
Moving on to game time versus Anal Alert So Good. I got Anal Alert So Good. I mean, good team. Game time might be able to squeak out with something here if his PPR guys can make some noise, but I still think that Jalen Hurts will have the W on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you here. In order so good, it's just a better team.
Yeah.
The matchups are relatively equal here. I think there's just a higher floor and a higher ceiling for Weaver. Or Jalen Hurts so good, so I think he's gonna win this game.
Fair enough.
By 10.
Moving on to Ginger Crotch versus cooking up some beast mode. This game's actually my surprise game of the week. I think that as long as cooking up some beast mode can get his healthy guys healthy, I think that the matchups are more favorable for cooking up some beast mode to squeeze out with the W.
You know what? I actually agree with you. I think cooking up to beast mode is in a prime opportunity to,
sneak his way
into the playoffs.
This is the game.
I don't know if his team is necessarily better than Ginger Crotch's, but I think that his team.
The matchups are very favorable.
Yeah, I think his team is poised to beat Ginger Crotch. Ginger Crotch is all right with that because he's a lock for the playoffs. He's not going to get that bye. His team just isn't going to catch just the process. AJ Green's playing against Jacksonville.
A lot of tough matches.
He's going to be easily
blocked against Jacksonville.
Yeah, this is going to Carson against Denver. That's going to be really tough.
So
this team has a lower, I would say an equal ceiling, but a much lower floor this week. So I think cooking up some beast mode by 15.
I like it. Moving on to OMM is somewhat legit versus For Whom the Bells Toll. I mean, I'm gonna give this to OMM is legit. For Whom the Bells Toll. I mean, I'm a superstitious guy, and I feel like I wouldn't bet in that direction. I don't think For Whom the Bells Toll is going to get the W this week.
I have to agree with you. I think OMM somewhat legit is a better team, and they're playing the right people right now. They just have a lot of upside on their team. They're going to win this game. For Whom the Bells Toll. You're not playing for the playoffs right now. You're just focused on not losing the constellation. So
which will be a very, very exciting power.
Which will be exciting
coming up in the near future.
OMM somewhat legit. You're going to get this dub by 20.
And then lastly, moving on to Thought Stopper, Big Juicy Peaches. I mean, we've talked about Thought Stopper's weaknesses before. I think that the loss of Zeke will be tough for him. I don't think he'll win this one against Big Juicy Peaches.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I think Thought Stopper's team right now is still poised to put up some major points. Lamar Miller, Indianapolis shootout. Drew Brees at home against Tampa Bay shootout. Todd Gurley at the Giants is going to eat. Fitzgerald at San Francisco, he still could put up 10 receptions, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns easily. I think this team has a much higher ceiling this week. I'm going to take Thought Stopper by 10, and he's going to actually. They're going to be fighting until week 10 for the playoffs. I'll tell you that.
I like it.
All right. So is that all the matchups?
I believe so.
Anything you'd like to talk about at the end of our show here?
Yeah, I think I'd like to apologize to Jay Ajayi for letting out some.
Why'd you say his name again, bro? Jesus Christ.
Listen, it's already been recorded. It's already been publicized.
Oh my God, man!
Apology. I'm the number one dentist in Temple.
Oh my God, you're an idiot.
So
you're a moron. You deserve to be fired.
Mistakes happen. I was first in my class.
Amir, you're a moron. You're a fucking idiot, dude.
But it's all right though. Moving on.
You guys should Facebook Ahmed Amir. He's got a really dope Facebook profile. He's got a lot of mutual friends. A lot of the biomeds know him.
Good guy.
Yeah. Good guy. That's you.
That's what I'm saying. Good guy.
Oh, okay. Nice. You can see this. Nice. All right. The only thing I'd like to talk about is thank you for coming on our show. Thank you for representing the Birds.
All the time.
The Birds topping the league right now. It's a great time to be alive.
Fly, Eagles fly.
Whatever happens with fantasy, at least we got the goddamn Birds right now. All right, and with that, it's the end of our show. Thanks for having us.
Take care, guys.